Hi guys, Luke here of SimBoxx in association with Adrenaline Performance and Clint Patrick. Delighted to be joined by the one and only Jono King Kong Carroll. Jono, how are we doing?
I'm very good, pal. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a pleasure, for the viewers watching. If you recognise Jono's voice from anywhere else, it'll be the SimBoxx podcast intro. Jono kindly done the intro for us there.
Yes, indeed, my brother. Anything I can do to help, always.
Yeah. So I believe you're out in Mexico at the minute. Tell us a little bit about what took you out there. I know you're training for the next fight, but why Mexico?
I like Mexico. I love the weather here. I like the people here. I love the boxing history here and everything else. The proper warriors over here, that way. So, it almost brings me back to my roots. When you go into these gyms, it's like concrete floors, but it's now fancy blade and like the stuff I have in my bag, like it can make people soft, that way. So I don't need that going into big fights. I want to be grounded. I want to be in the likes of these gyms and seeing how hard these lads work and, be very thankful for where I am and what I'm doing and all. It's just, I don't know. It's almost like bringing me back to my ground roots when I come to the likes of Mexico and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because like these lads don't have it easy over here. So it makes me very appreciative from where I'm at right now in my life.
I can't say that I'm not jealous looking at the weather there. If I could flip the camera around, you could see the Manchester rain here, man. I'm very jealous.
Well, the weather here is amazing, Pat. I got mountain views, a little bit cloudy today, but we still got mountain views behind all them big ass buildings. It's nice, man.
Shame. I'm not even turning the camera around here. Like, you're putting me to shame. It's Manchester rain here. So let's get into the business of it.
That's typical Irish weather.
I know you got the big fight coming up, but I want to go back to the setback, the Maxi Hughes fight. We've not spoke since that moment. And, at the time, it was considered a big upset. It was a fight that he was expected to win. But Maxi's gone on to have some good success, some good wins. So, that loss doesn't look so bad. But take us through your mindset, Jono, when, recovering from that setback and recovering from that loss and what you took from it in a good way and a bad way.
There was no recovery from it. It was just a lesson. That's all. You know what I mean? In life just teaches you lessons. When you have a good day, it's a great memory, and when you have a bad day, it's a good lesson. That's the way I like to look at things. And even when I look back at the Maxi Hughes fight, to be quite honest, I genuinely thought I won it, but obviously I didn't do enough in the judges' eyes or whatever. I don't know. But I just don't see it as a loss because I end up coming back a much more hungry fighter and my mindset has changed. It's been like, how can these type of people, even though he's went on and he's had a few good wins and that, whatever, fair play to him. But I believe that I am more level and I just don't see how these fighters should be beating me. So the way I looked at it was, this was my fault. I didn't pass the blame onto nobody else. I didn't pass it. Even though I look back in the fight and believe I won it, I don't pass it to be like, oh, the judges do me in there. And no, I don't care about that. Because if I had a few things going on in my own personal life that maybe if I didn't have, I would have been that 1, 2, 3% better. And if I had been 1, 2, 3% better, I would have just wanted that little bit more convincingly, that way. So for me, it's just a life lesson. I don't really care for boxing, win, lose, and drawn and all the likes of that. Every day is a skill day in boxing. You're always learning, whether it be in sparring, whether it be in the fight or whatever. So I'm not Floyd Mayweather, and I never claimed to be Floyd Mayweather. I don't care about now zero. He's already beaten before he went to Maxi Hughes. So I didn't look at it as a setback. Maxi Hughes, number one, is a weight above me. We took the fight on just basically with the COVID stuff, just kind of to get a fight in, that way. A higher weight division, which I didn't care. I was like, yeah, whatever. But we were meant to do it at a catch weight too. And then the day, I think it was the day before the weigh-in. Yeah, it was the day before the weigh-in. Max was like, oh, there's no bats in this place. I can't make that weigh-in. And because of the COVID stuff, we were all in lockdown in this bleeding hotel, you know what I mean? So, me again was like, it's all right, don't worry about it. We'll do it at whatever weight a little bit over than what, it was already a catch weight. It was already in between 135 or something. So then we ended up doing it even more. It was like, I don't know what weight we ended up doing at, to be quite honest. But I didn't care. I was just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care what weight it's at. I'm going to beat you anyway. That's my mindset. It's always like, I'm here now. We're going to fight. I don't care. But then that's also another thing that a life lesson that I've learned is don't always be so easy and just being a pushover, I know I was top of the bill and the show, like, was kind of all on that, but I probably should have put my foot down at times, because at the end of the day, it is my career. Some people look at it as a setback. Even though I don't look at it as a setback, it was a very good life lesson, and I learned a lot from it, and I gained a lot of experience. But it was my own fault, and I take full responsibility. And that's the most important thing, is that I took full responsibility for the loss, and I just became a better person, number one, and a better boxer, number two. So at the end of the day, like I said earlier, life is about lessons and learning, and so is boxing about learning. So I just think it's that making me a better fighter, to be quite honest. It made me a more hungry fighter.
So the fight before that was the career best win against Scott Quigg. It was at a packed Manchester arena. To go from that, and obviously it was during the COVID pandemic, the restrictions and everything. Your next fight was then against Maxi Hughes behind closed doors. What was that like for you in terms of an experience of going from, like I say, a packed out Manchester arena to behind closed doors with little to no fans at all in the arena?
Yeah, it was very strange. It was very, very strange. And like, I didn't have me coach there either. So I had my dad as me corner man for that night. And because my dad can be vocal, I was like, I didn't want him to be vocal because I wanted to concentrate on what my trainer was telling me to do. So I was telling me dad before the fight, like, you just don't say anything in between the rounds. Don't be saying that. Like, say whatever you need to say in between the round, grand, but don't be vocal in the corner. You know what I mean? Blah, 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 whatever. And he was like, all right, son, no problem at all. So then it was like, Maxi Hughes was like, at times we came together and like, I'd catch him with a shot. Maxi Hughes' corner was like, yeah, well done, Maxi. And I was like, was that maybe playing a little bit of a part to playing it then? Like, and I just don't know. Like, there was so many concepts there was so many things happened on the night. And I got so many things happen that it was almost like I shouldn't have took the fight, number one. I shouldn't have just accepted it. Like, it wasn't even great money. You know what I mean? And then going from a Scott Quigg fight to then that Maxi Hughes fight, like, I was coming from like loads of great money, a big packed arena, and you know, I'm a show off, so I was like playing up to the crowd, loving it. I always perform best in front of the crowd. To then a dead arena, and like I didn't have the motivation there, maybe because the money wasn't great. Like, you know, like all these things. Not mean to sound like, oh, I just do it for the money, but like there's a big difference when you're getting paid loads and when you're getting paid not much. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like even sparring and all, like, you know, because of restrictions, I was sparring people that was just in Spain. You know, like I didn't have proper ideal sparring for it either because of the restrictions and stuff like that. And like, I'm not giving excuses, even though it might sound like bleeding like that, but I just take full responsibility for it. It was the circumstances wasn't right, and I got shown so many things. And because I'm very like mentally strong, so I just had a negative thought. I'm a very smart man that the devil will keep reappearing in different forms if you don't learn your lesson the first time. You know what I mean? So and I actually got told up that same man that like that night he was saying, wait, like, don't bother, go home, like, fuck that show, like, me bollocks to that, like, you're not even getting good money, like, go home, like. And I was like, nah, I'm here, I'm at doing the work, like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. It is what it is. But it was a very different vibe. To answer the question, it was a very different energy going in there. So a packed crowd, to then being obviously the high favourite against Maxi Hughes. You know what I mean? And Maxi Hughes was no joke. Like, I always respected Maxi Hughes. When I was doing prize fighter, like when I only burst onto the scene, Maxi Hughes was fighting in a 10-rounder in the little mid-break of that show. You know what I mean? So when I was like, I only had 3 fights going into that prize fight. So when I had 3 fights, he was doing 10-rounders against like Martin J. Ward. You know what I mean? So, and I got a draw that night. So like for me, I never overlooked Maxi Hughes. I always knew he was a dangerous opponent, but I'm very just mentally strong. I was just thinking, fuck it, it is what it is. Let's just fight. Like, so I like to believe that like I'm an old school mentality, and I just like to fight. You know what I mean? It's like my meditation. It's mad. I love to fight.
So as we moved into 2021, you had let's say a low key outing in Malaga, Spain. You know, got off a bit of ring rust, picked up a stoppage victory. Again, what do you think from that fight in terms of, again, a low-key affair, but just getting back to winning ways to set up what is obviously now a bigger fight in June?
Yeah, well, like, the thing is, after the Maxi Hughes fight, because we were still kind of half in lockdowns and stuff like that, it was still like all these restrictions. There was no shows really going on, you know? So I was training at the Maxi Hughes fight, like 2 days after the fucking fight. I had a holiday booked. I went on holidays and I was training the whole time on holidays because I was like disgusted with myself that I was letting Maxi Hughes beat me. You know what I mean? I was like, you know, I was just not happy. I'm a very competitive spirit and soul that I'm like, I shouldn't be getting beaten by anybody. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at it. I'm like, I shouldn't be getting beaten here, like in these type of fights, like me bollocks. So I was half angry and I woke my ass off, and then I just stayed ready for when the next opportunity came. And then that opportunity came for the fight in Spain, like last minute. And then the show got pulled 2 or 3 days before. And then, lucky enough, one of the guys that I was sparring, he was putting a show on in his own like gym or whatever it was. And I just jumped on the show. These were like, you can top the bill. I was like, yeah, happy days. Fuck it. I'll fight anywhere right now. I don't care. Like, and I'm not too good for anything, you know? Like, I started from nothing, and like I love now that I'm on these big shows and stuff, but like I don't judge myself, or I think I'm better than anyone or any you know what I mean? I don't know, that's only on, and you know, it's all about experience in boxing.
Yeah, of course. So to go from that opportunity,
still there, pal?
Yeah, I think we're on. So yeah, beauties of technology. Of course, I'm over here in Manchester. You're in Mexico. You know, but we'll persevere with it. So any blockouts we can blame on modern technology, man.
That's it.
Yeah, to go from like a small horse scene in Malaga to now, you know, the undercard of one of the fights of the year in Teofimo Lopez against George Kambosos. It's on Triller, which is a new player in the game. They've got a lot of money. They've got a lot of enthusiasm. And this is going to be for the UBC silver super featherweight title, I'm right in saying, against Andy Vences.
Yeah.
Big opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Like, see, that's what I mean. Like, taking these like small horse shows. It's like boxing. When I took the fight against Declan Gardy, I then got on the prize fighter from a last minute show, but a last minute fight. Boom, I jumped on the prize fighter. So like, boxing's one of those games that you just need to be ready all the time, and when the opportunity appears, you need to grab it with both hands. So like, me jumping on that show in Malaga was great. It was the best thing done because it just sharpened me up a little bit, and now getting this opportunity, being over here, like I'm in Mexico, man. Like, look, it's just the bollocks, like, you know what I mean? And this is what boxing's all about. And like you said, Triller is a massive platform for me to be on. It's paying good money. It's just giving me a little bit of fire in my belly that it's a big pay-per-view show. The guy is an experienced fighter. Like, he's more like fights than me. His record is similar to me. He has 2 losses, but more wins, more fights. It's going to be a very good fight. It's going to be a tough fight. I actually followed the guy about maybe a year and a half ago, Andy Vences, and I was like, he's decent. He's not bad. Like, because he was in my weight. Like, I just followed him on Instagram. Like he was a dedicated kid, almost like cutting the same cloth for myself. Like, he worked hard and everything else. And I just kind of liked that about him. He was dedicated. So I know it's not going to be no push-over fight. It's not going to be an easy fight, but it's most definitely a fight that I'm going to be up for. And because it's for the WBC silver, like, I'm going to have to be sharp. Like, this fella is going to be coming. Like, he's the same as me. His family mouths to feed. Like, we're both coming for this crown. Like, it's not, nobody's handing this over easy, you know, that way. So it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's fair to say, Jono, that this fight came a bit left field. Was it that way to you? That it was a bit of a surprise that, you know, again, Triller are a new player in the game, and you know, normally you have, like, say, a BT show and it'll be Frank Warren guys, or Sky Sports will be Matchroom guys. So obviously Triller don't really have that promoter attached to their name. So they kind of put, you know, a few different names together. Was it a bit of a surprise to you to get this opportunity on Triller as a platform?
Yes and no. Like, not really, because like the great thing about MTK is they work with everybody, and I'm not signed with anybody. Like, I'm not signed to a promoter. So for me, I'm a free agent. I can fight on any shows I want to fight on. So if anyone's offering good money and for, especially for belts, I'll fight on any show. I couldn't care less. And that's the that is the beauty of MDK, is the fact that they work with absolutely everybody. So they always, like, regardless whether they're working with Matchroom today, they might be working with Frank tomorrow on a different fighter. They might be working with the likes of Triller for a different, it's like they have so many fighters underneath the umbrella that they're always talking to all the different managers, all the different promoters, all the different everything. You know what I'm saying? So we get all the best opportunities. So, like, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I'm just happy and grateful that I'm on these shows. But MTK is the best in the business. Like, so I'm not surprised that they get me on the shows. You know what I mean? And I'm playing with them, it's just like for on a beautiful journey. So very thankful for we said this, like the last show we had, like Justin Bieber and all playing, like it's a proper event. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not just a normal boxing show. So once again, it's something different. So I love all this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Jono, just to finish, I wanted to get a quick word from you on Carl Frampton, one of the finest Irish boxers of all time. He recently retired after his loss to Jamel Herring. I know that was a fight that could have possibly been of interest to you further down the line had Carl been victorious against Jamel Herring. But yeah, just a quick word on Carl Frampton, what he means for Irish boxing and the legacy that he leaves behind.
Yeah, I wish Carl the best in retirement. I think it was definitely the right decision for him and his family. I'm sure he made a few quid from the Herring fight. And Carlos had a fantastic career. So, like, if I was in Carl's position, I would have retired. I would have done the same. Carl doesn't need the likes of me, a hungry, bleeding little lion coming up wanting his name. Like, he doesn't need somebody like me. I was just hoping that I would get it, you know what I mean? If he won and he continued on, just because it'd be a fantastic show for the Irish fans, like bringing Dublin and Belfast all together into one big massive arena, it would have been beautiful, it would have been history if we had been fighting for a world title in Ireland. So all those aspects of it, and plus I really respect Carl. So I would have loved him to share the ring with him for sure. But I do think it was the right decision what he made, because he's had a few fights. Like, I think Carl was a better fighter than like Josh Warrington. Like, I think Carl started getting like beaten and on the slide, not on the slide, but you know what I mean. Like, if Carl had a fought Jamel Herring a few years ago, Carl would have bashed him, I reckon. Carl was a top class fighter, and I wouldn't have liked to see him have too many more losses against up and coming fighters or fighters that were just not on his level when he was in his prime. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I think he made the right decision. And when I'm at that stage in my own career, I'll be retiring too. Like, I genuinely want to win a world title. And 32 to about 33, I'd say, I just want to hang up the gloves and walk away and retire with me head and my brain still in contact. You know what I mean? I don't want this is a dangerous sport and people don't understand it. People think it's just entertainment and you get in there and you have a fight, but it's not. The camps are hard. The camps are damaging on your body and your brain and everything else. And sometimes even the camp is harder than what the fight is, that way. So and I'm sure Carl will agree with the likes of that. It's the camps are the hard thing, and that's the damaging part to the body. So, no, I wish him all the best, and he was an absolute legend of the sport. There's someone I looked up to, and I watched a lot growing up. So fair play to him. I wish him all the best in retirement.
Classy, Jono, very classy. So, we're about 3.5 weeks out from fight night. What's the plan from here in terms of tapering down training camp? Where do we go to next in the next few weeks?
Mate, there is no tapering down. We are going 100% right now. We taper down probably the last week and a half week and a half. But right now, it's pedal to the metal. The body is feeling it. We're pushing it hard. We're doing serious rounds. I have 3 sparring partners. I won and 3 Mexican sparring partners, mate. You know what that's like. So it's definitely not easy over here. We're not cutting no corners. That way. Like, even the air is thinner here. It's hot here. So even the jogs and the sprints, we done a sprint session yesterday and you could feel it, you know what I mean? Even pads and that today, it's different level over here. But I'm pushing my body to the max. I'm getting the best out of myself. I'm feeling sharp. I'm feeling fit. And I'm very confident for this fight. I'm looking forward to it. But most important thing with this is I can't overlook this guy, and not in the slightest. I have to stay really sharp mentally, physically, everything, and make sure we stay injury free. But most importantly, make sure my mind doesn't lose track of the main goal, and that's to bring that belt home, you know. So I don't want to get in there and start getting happy and just start swinging, trying to knock this guy out. I need to be very smart because this guy he's a good counter puncher. So for me, I need to be smart in this fight. Like, I can't be walking into silly shots and rushing in, falling in and the likes of that, because he has a nice little uppercut and stuff as well. So yeah, we have to be careful, you know, but it's going to be a fantastic fight. And I think the fans are going to be the ones that win on this fight night, because I'm coming to steal the Triller show. Fuck the Teofimo Lopez in the main card. I'm coming to steal this show, bro.
It's exciting times, Jono. We look forward to fight night. I wish you the very best of luck with the fight, and I'm sure we'll catch up again real soon.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.